If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I've been telling you over and over that your blood sugar meter, also known as a glucometer, also known as Mike the meter, can be of tremendous value in helping you figure out what to eat, what not to eat, and helping you to beat diabetes. Today we'll learn what that looks like, and I'll share, horror of horrors, the one great flaw in your meter that you need to be aware of. On today's edition of Beat Diabetes, I'm pleased to announce that we have a very, very special guest who's come all the way from, well, my bathroom to join us and share some of his marvelous insights. His name is Mike. Actually, his full name is Michael R. Meter, and he is a great friend of mine as well as a mentor. Mike, welcome to Beat Diabetes.
Thanks for having me on, Dennis. I appreciate all the nice things you have said about me.
So, Mike, let me begin by giving you a great big thank you. You've helped me so much considering my mom's background in diabetes and the way it was attacking me. I really think I would have an A1C up to 10, 12, really high if it weren't for you. So thank you, and I want you to know I appreciate you.
You are very welcome. I am happy to help.
Well, let's get right into it. Why do you suppose, Mike, that so many diabetics just don't seem to improve? They go year after year, they can barely get their A1C down 1/10 of a point, they just struggle, don't see any success. Why is that? Why don't more diabetics see success in getting those glucose levels down?
I believe there are two reasons why some diabetics never make progress. First, they never use me. They leave me in the drawer, all alone, in the dark, and never take me out and let me do what I have been designed to do.
So why would that be? Why wouldn't diabetics use you and put you to work?
The truth is they do not really believe I could do much for them. They have been told that their diabetes is beyond their control, so they have no hope and do not even try to beat diabetes. They see me as a useless toy without any value. They do not believe in me.
And what's the second reason that diabetics are just spinning their wheels and not seeing any success in lowering their glucose levels?
Some diabetics do use me, but they only use me in the morning to test their fasting blood sugar. There is some value in this, but this does not tell the full story. They need to use me to test their blood sugar after they have eaten at the time their blood sugar rises to its peak. This will help them understand what various foods do to them.
Well, I know that's true, and I know that's one thing I have to thank you for. You have always encouraged me to find out those glucose peaks and let that be a determiner as to how I eat and what foods are good for me and which ones are not. But how does someone find out? There's people here watching and they don't even have a clue. How do I know when my glucose will peak? How do they know this?
You must test yourself several times after meals and do this over several different meals. After a few meals you will have a good idea how long it takes after eating for your blood sugar to go to its highest level, and when it starts to drop back down.
Okay, well, let's talk about diets. There are so many diets out there. You've got the low-carb diet, the vegan diet, the paleo diet, the carnivore diet, so many different diets. What do you think about the best diet, and how is someone who's all confused about which way to go, how do they make the right decision?
My advice is, do not be a dummy.
Did I hear you right? Did you just say, don't be a dummy?
That is right. Do not be a dummy.
Okay, Mike, but what does that even mean, don't be a dummy? What are you really saying?
Instead of trusting this expert or this diet or that diet or this latest fad or that fad, ask of me. I will tell you which foods are safe and which must be avoided. And I can guarantee that you will find some real surprises when you test your foods with me.
Okay, well, that's well said. Before I forget, I do want to let you know you are a celebrity. People just love you, and we just hear about you so often. So, Mike, you're a popular guy.
Yes, I know I am. I read the comments under the videos, and it makes me feel so proud to learn that I am the star of Beat Diabetes. I am more popular than anyone else. I love it, love it, love it.
Now, I have to stop you there, Mike, because after all, Benedicta is very popular as well, and she thinks she's the star of the show.
Just let her go on thinking that, but we all know who the real star is.
Okay, well, I'm not going to touch that. We'll just leave that one alone. But I do have to bring up something a little more serious, and that is, as much help as you are, Mike, and as much good as you do have one flaw, a major flaw that people need to understand.
Are you kidding me? Did you bring me on this program to discuss my weaknesses? I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked.
Well, Mike, I know you are a valuable guy, no doubt about it. But there is one thing you cannot do and you do not do. You don't tell us about the nutritional value of food, for example. In other words, if I ate a meal of sawdust and drank water with it, you'd give me a perfectly good reading. You'd tell me I was doing fine, but you can't live on sawdust and water. You don't say anything about nutrition.
I don't know about that. Nutrition is not my specialty. And I don't care about nutrition. I only care about your current glucose levels, and nothing else.
Okay, but here's another example. Let's suppose I did some cooking and I needed to use oil in my cooking. If I used vegetable oil or if I used coconut oil, you'd give them an equal passing grade. You wouldn't really criticize either one because neither one raises blood sugar. But almost everybody is saying these days that vegetable oils are terrible for us. They're just something we should avoid altogether. But you don't care about that.
I don't care. I don't care. As long as the glucose doesn't rise much, I am happy. I only care about your current glucose levels, and nothing else.
And the same is true for margarine. Almost everybody is declaring margarine is a terrible food to eat. We should all go for butter, not margarine, but you don't even care. You'd give them both a passing grade because neither one raises blood sugar.
Butter or margarine makes no difference to me. I only care about your current glucose levels, and nothing else.
Now listen, Mike. Every time I bring up these issues, all you can say is, I don't care, and all you care about is the state of glucose levels and nothing else. You sound like a robot.
Now listen, Dennis. I did not come here to be insulted. I do what I do and that's all that I do. I only care about your current glucose levels, and nothing else.
So it doesn't even matter to you whether a food is nutritious or harmful, all you care about is glucose levels? Is that your attitude?
Nutrition and the quality of food is above my pay grade. I did not receive my PhD in nutrition. I received my PhD in glucose levels. I do what I do and that is all that I do. Nothing else. Deal with it.
Okay, Mike, I see you're a little sensitive about this subject, and I didn't bring you on to criticize you or shame you. I love you. You've helped me so much. But I just wanted to point out that maybe if you could tell people about the relative nutritional value of foods, you'd be even more important in our lives. But if you can't do that, you can at least let us know about glucose levels, and that is no small thing. So thanks, Mike, for being on Beat Diabetes. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And if the folks that are watching this video will leave a comment of appreciation, I know you would love it.
All comments will be appreciated. I love to read those comments. They really boost my self-esteem.
Well, I appreciate you taking some of your valuable time to be with us. I know you're an important figure. You're a busy guy. So thank you, and I hope we can count on you to come back again.
Well, maybe not. I have a busy schedule, you know. I will have to think about it.
Okay, some of you are saying, well, that was kind of fun. And maybe some of you are saying that was a little creepy, talking with a blood sugar meter. But whether fun or creepy, there are a couple of important points that this little interview emphasized. The first is that a glucose meter can be of tremendous value in helping you overcome diabetes and bring your glucose levels down into the normal or close to normal range. Now, that's not news for those of you who've been watching this channel regularly. You know that's at the heart of all that I say. I like to make things real simple. And if you're hitting yourself on the head every day with a hammer and then you're getting terrible headaches, well, just stop hitting yourself with that hammer. In fact, throw the hammer away. And lo and behold, all your headaches will disappear. And carbohydrates are that hammer. They're hammering at your glucose levels constantly. And the day when the light bulb comes on over your head and you get the inspiration to just stop stuffing yourself with all those carbs, to quit eating donuts and bagels and rice and potatoes and Little Debbie snack cakes and all kinds of breakfast cereals and pasta and drinking soda and fruit juice. Once you see all of that, your glucose levels will start heading downward in a hurry. It might only take a few weeks, or it might take a few months, but as long as you have any kind of pancreatic function left, lower glucose levels must be the result. It's as much a law of nature as the law of gravity. None of us is surprised when we hold a ball in our hands, then let it go, and it falls to the ground. We're not shocked, we're not surprised, we don't gasp in amazement. Of course that ball is going to fall to the ground the moment we let go of it. This will happen time after time. It will happen in the day or in the night. It'll happen in the summer or in the winter. Balls fall to the ground when we let go of them, and this is because of a natural law, the law of gravity. And likewise, glucose levels must go down when we stop eating so many carbohydrates. It is a law of nature. It'll happen in the summer or it'll happen in the winter. It'll happen when you're young or when you're old. Carbohydrate restriction will lower glucose levels for black people, white people, Hispanics, Asians, and Native Americans. Carbohydrate reduction is so obvious that anybody can verify it by simply testing their blood sugar regularly or getting A1C tests done every 3 or 4 months. No intelligent person could deny that it works. It just flat works. And the reason I emphasize glucose meters is that they demonstrate what I just told you. They're not biased. They have nothing to prove. They have no preconceived notion. They have no particular diet they hold on to. They'll simply tell you with numbers what's happening with your glucose from day to day and month to month. But they not only give you information, they give you inspiration. When you see those numbers going down and you realize you finally hit on a diet and a lifestyle that's really working, and I don't mean slightly working or barely working, but really, really working in a powerful way. When you see this, a bonfire of motivation is going to be created on the inside of you. You won't need anybody to tell you to eat in a certain way. Your glucose meter will inspire you to such a degree that you'll want to eat the foods that are safe and don't drive up glucose. You won't just tolerate this kind of a diet. You'll love it. You'll embrace it. And nobody will be able to talk you out of it. But with all of that said, your glucose meter really does have one fault. It pays no attention whatever to the nutritional value of food. You're going to have to investigate that on your own. It's no good getting your glucose levels down if your nutritional needs are not being met and you get sick for lack of important vitamins and minerals. There are certain foods which work beautifully for those wanting glucose control and moderate glucose spikes. Some of the big ones are meat, low-carb veggies, eggs, cheese, cream, avocados, and most nuts. Within these foods, you should be able to get the nutrition you need. I personally eat salads frequently, garden salads without any croutons or tortilla chips in them, and with low-carb salad dressing. I've always felt like there's no need, no reason to bring the carbs in my diet down to zero. Sometimes people say that they've cut out all carbs down to zero, and in many cases, I honestly don't think that's quite what they mean. What they mean is that they've cut out the obvious and notorious carbs. But if you really do cut out every single carb from your diet, you would be left eating meat, and more meat. Now, I know some people do this. It's called the carnivore diet, and it has become popular with some. But I've never seen the need for it, nor am I totally comfortable with it. In the book of Genesis in the Bible, we're told that God gave us plants to eat, and I figure since He did, He must have put some nutritional goodies in them. Most of the carbs that we eat these days are junk carbs, loaded with sugar and white flour, and they are nothing our ancestors would even recognize. So to get back to my point here, your glucose meter is a tremendous asset in beating diabetes, but it's going to be up to you to figure out the kind of diet that will give you not only decent glucose levels, but will also provide solid nutrition. In my mind, the best bang for your buck are the low-carb vegetables, and that's why I eat a lot of garden salads with things like cauliflower, green peppers, lettuce, cucumbers, and so forth. Some people will complain about how much nutrition we will lose by not eating bread, rice, and pasta. But the truth is, these things don't have that much nutrition anyway. Bread, for example, is just a filler mostly, and a container for what we're going to put between the slices. But let me say this. When you first find out that you've got diabetes and you have a really high A1C, like 9, 10, 12 or higher, nutrition is not the thing you should be focusing on. Your one concern should be glucose control, glucose control, glucose control through carbohydrate reduction. Let me put it this way. Suppose a man breaks into your house and is giving you a terrible beating, and you're looking around desperately for some way to defend yourself, and you see two possible candidates, a baseball bat and a bottle of vitamin C pills. You say to yourself, which do I need most? Which should I grab, the baseball bat or the vitamin C? Well, of course, the answer is obvious. Vitamin C is a great vitamin to take. It's a wonderful supplement for your diet, but when you're being beaten savagely, that's not the time to worry about vitamin C. Go get that baseball bat and defend yourself. Drive the bully out of your house, and then after that, if you're concerned with getting a little better nutrition, take your vitamin C. And that should be your attitude when you come home from the doctor's office having been told that you're severely diabetic. It's not time to worry too much about nutrition. It's time to go to war and get out that baseball bat. Or in other words, start changing your diet. And that's why Mike the Meter is so invaluable. He'll help you transform your meals from a diet that's destroying you to a diet that is healing you. And that's exactly how I see this YouTube channel. In a way, I'm kind of like Mike. I don't talk too much about nutrition. I talk about how to get your glucose levels and your A1C down in a hurry. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and the quickest route from diabetes to non-diabetic numbers is going to involve carbohydrate restriction or reduction. Yeah, there are other things you can do. You can take cinnamon, you can take berberine, you can exercise, you can switch from junk food to whole food. All of that's going to help you some. But if you want the nuclear option, if you want powerful help that will crush diabetes in a hurry, limit those carbs. Engage in some time-restricted eating, perhaps do some longer fasting if your doctor allows it, and crush that high blood sugar. Well, that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed our little program and our little interview. If so, give it a thumbs up so YouTube will recognize its value and promote it to other diabetics. And consider subscribing to this channel and then click that bell icon so you'll be notified every time we post a new video. God bless. See you again soon.